Today, we're going to explore a concept that could shift your entire approach to achieving your goals, detaching from the outcome. It's a powerful mindset shift that can bring both clarity and peace, all while helping you achieve what you're working toward. But before we dive in, let's take a moment to reconnect with the present. You and I both know that in life, we all have goals, big ones, small ones, and everything in between. Some of us are striving for short-term wins, others for lifelong dreams. And if you're with us today, chances are you have some ambitious goals in mind. Here at We believe in aiming high, going after the boldest vision for yourself. But there's an interesting twist to this idea, letting go. And I don't mean giving up on your dreams. I mean detaching yourself from the need to achieve them. When we talk about detachment, we're talking about the emotional separation from the outcome. It's about wanting to reach your goals, but not letting your happiness or self-worth depend on whether you achieve them or not. You got to be okay with where you are, regardless of whether you've reached the destination yet. Think about it, attachment to outcomes. When you cling too tightly to a certain result, it creates pressure, stress, and often blinds us to alternative paths we could take. People from all walks of life, Buddhist monks, Stoic philosophers, modern-day therapists, have spoken about the dangers of being too attached to your goals. Today, we're going to talk about why this attachment can stifle your growth, limit your creativity, and ironically, make it harder for you to reach your destination. Here's the first major issue with attachment. It kills creativity. Creativity thrives in a space of freedom, where we're relaxed and open to ideas. But when we're too focused on one particular outcome, our minds start to narrow. We become rigid, anxious, and unable to think outside the box. This kind of tension blocks the very creativity you need to succeed. Have you ever felt stuck, even though you're working so hard? That's attachment in action. And here's another thing. When you're too attached to one specific path, you become inflexible. Once you've set a goal, you'll probably map out a strategy to get there. But what happens if that strategy doesn't work? If you're too attached, you might not even notice when your plan is failing. Or worse, you refuse to adjust because admitting the need for change feels like admitting defeat. Detachment, on the other hand, makes it easier to see clearly and pivot when necessary. It's about adapting to the journey, not forcing it to fit your expectations. Finally, attachment piles unnecessary pressure on your shoulders. Even if you eventually reach your goal, if the process was filled with stress and pressure, how much enjoyment will you have left by the time you get there? The pressure can drain all the joy from the process, making you less likely to pursue new goals in the future. But by letting go, by detaching from the outcome, you free yourself to actually enjoy the ride. And when you enjoy the process, you're far more likely to keep going. So, how do we cultivate this kind of detachment? We suggest two main strategies, one focused on mindset, the other on behavior. First, let's talk about mindset. You need to remind yourself constantly that your worth is not tied to your achievements. Sure, it's great to want the best for yourself, to aim for a huge success, whether it's a dream job, $1 million deal, or widespread recognition. But do you really need it? If you end up achieving something a little less grand, a good job, a nice home, a meaningful life, is that a tragedy? Of course not. You have to allow yourself to be okay with different outcomes, not just the one you're obsessed with. By letting go of the all or nothing mentality, you'll actually open yourself up to greater possibilities. Now, onto behavior. Start by taking risks. Sometimes we avoid risks because we're afraid of failure. But being too cautious shows that you're too attached to your goals. Allow yourself to gamble a little, to stretch beyond your comfort zone. Adjust your strategy when necessary. If you see something's not working, change course. Doing this sends a powerful message to your brain. I'm flexible. I'm not tied to one path or one outcome. And one last thing we can't emphasize enough, take breaks. Hustle culture might tell you to grind endlessly, but this can actually reinforce attachment. Work hard, yes, but also rest. Spend time with loved ones. Pursue hobbies. This balance helps you see that life is more than just your goals, and your happiness doesn't depend solely on achieving them. We're confident that if you put these strategies into practice, you'll find not only more success in your pursuits, but also more joy in the journey. Remember, Knowledge is useless without consistent action. Take what you've learned here today and start applying it to your life. Until next time, keep on rising,